Hello everyone, Rainey here with some context for the episode that you are about to listen to. If you missed the announcement last month, I started a second podcast feed to double the amount of DMs After Dark RPG content you are receiving called the Rainey Plays Games podcast. I release episodes every Tuesday, and you can find it on your favorite podcatcher of choice. Over on that feed, I'm doing more of the Playing with Myself on the Internet solo RPG series, going to be playing some short series with friends, doing an interview-style modified roles spin-off I'm calling Perspective Checks, and a short episode each month called Media Mining, where I discuss a book series, TV show, video game, or similar, and break down ideas from it I think are worth using at the game table. On months where there are 5 Tuesdays, I decided the 5th drop would be something special. So what you're about to hear is a playtest or a preview of a silly one-page game I designed and am releasing on Tuesday, January 30th. You can find links to where to download the game in the description. The game's called One Last Quest, and the goal is to allow you and your friends to bring back some of your favorite PCs from yestergames past. Campaigns that fizzled, finished, or PCs that met a fatal end and you weren't done playing yet. Except there's one minor exception. You're playing them well after their adventuring days are done. They've retired and they're enjoying some much-deserved relaxation until something happens and causes them to have to come out of retirement to do one last quest. It's a simple game. It's a hack of the popular Lasers and Feelings by John Harper, who also designed Blades in the Dark, with a little dash of All Out of Bubblegum by Michael Sullivan and Jeffrey Grant, which is a silly game that has a resource that you eventually dwindle down and things get more and more chaotic. So, I'll stop talking and let you hear the shenanigans that we came up with. Let me know if you download the game and try it with your friends. Enjoy. Hey guys, what's going on?
Hey.
Hi.
Excited to playtest your shenanigans game, brother.
Yes, Please bring the shenanigans. Hello everyone out there listening to this. Welcome to a special episode on this feed. This is part of the Rainey Plays Games feed. That's a part of the DMs After Dark podcast network now, I guess we're calling ourselves. But because I have a strict schedule on my feed where I have a plan for every first, second, third, and fourth week, any month where there is a 5th Tuesday, there's a bonus special drop. So I decided I've been sitting on this game design for a little while. Why not release it into the world? And if I'm going to do so, why not record an example of it being played? So welcome. We are going to be playing a game that I'm putting out called One Last Quest. It is a simple pamphlet style, basically one-page RPG with a little bit of extra fluff, one page front and back. One Last Quest is a game where it's going to allow you to play the characters of yestergames past where you don't get to play them anymore, whether you had a D&D campaign or a Starfinder campaign or a Mutants and Masterminds campaign or whatever you were playing, and you no longer play that game. Did the campaign end? Did it
Campaigns that fizzle, Rainey, in D&D? What are you talking about?
You know, I've heard of these before. Obviously, I've finished every campaign I've ever started to full.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, level 20, satisfying endings every time. No, but so obviously, everyone's got characters that they're like, damn, I loved that character, and I played them for like 3 months. And they don't get to bring them back, or they do in a different game and it doesn't feel the same. So in this one, One Last Quest, you get to play those characters again, but they're old. They've done their adventuring. They've done it all. They are retired and they are elderly and they are living a life of luxury in some form of
Finest shady acres.
Yeah, exactly. In my example one, I call it Twilight Spears, like your Twilight years, you know? And it's like a castle that has been set aside for the elderly adventurers. So I haven't talked about who I'm here with yet today. Please introduce yourselves, everybody, and say who's here.
Hi, everybody. Troy here. I am going to be revisiting a character that I played for a one-shot that Rainey ran for Dungeon Quest.
Dungeon World? Yep.
Or Dungeon World. I'm sorry, Dungeon World. And I am basically a ranger, think kind of like an Aragorn type, except at this point, I'm very old and very tired. Still got some grit in me, and I have an animal companion that is a giant hunting 7th generation war pigeon. So that'll be really good. Very excited for that.
Yeah, we were talking about what character you'd possibly bring back, and your Dungeon World character in Dungeon World, when you build a ranger, you get an animal companion, and you get to pick a bunch of like
random fucking
tags and
descriptors.
features. Yeah, and you went with pigeon, and you chose like massive and like violent.
Yeah, massive violent hunting pigeon.
So clearly, you've been breeding those over the years. And
yes, these are the strongest traits that we want to pass down to the next generation
of pigeon. Yes,
of pigeon. Watch out, New York City. Oh, Jasper Tucky is my name.
That's right.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Jasper Tucky.
We have another DM.
Yep.
DM After Dark in the house here.
This is Kent. I am actually playing a character that I had from a home campaign maybe about 10 years ago now.
Oh,
he's an old one, and
brush the dust off.
Yeah,
Reacquaint yourself.
He's a half giant barbarian hulking hurler that I made a long time ago. His name is Stelios, and he's I made him because I really wanted to make a hulking hurler, and the half giants were the closest thing I could to get at the time without being a troll.
Today was the first I ever heard of hulking hurler, and I didn't even ask questions. I just went, love it, yes.
Yep.
Whatever that is.
I think it was a class in the monster manual, actually. So
very cool.
He's a character that I love to play. He was very quirky and goofy, even though like he was an Eberron campaign, and during one of the shenanigans the party got up to, he destroyed a tower in Sharn.
Ooh, yeah. I can't wait to meet Stelios aged. You know what I mean? Like, this is another thing that I think is really funny about the concept of this game. Not to toot my own horn, but like, I've made so many characters over the years, and I love the idea of thinking of like they are way past their prime. Like, what a mess it would be.
Stelios, if you have not picked a magical item yet, I highly recommend a halter belt of giant strength, or like a halter belt of supreme lifting.
Yes.
Just like the belts that nurses use to like lift people up in nursing homes, but just it gives you tremendous strength. Yes.
Yeah, I can't wait to get into character creation, because part of it is it's expected that you're coming into this game with a character you've already played and love. So we strip it down a lot so the rules don't get in the way of just kind of being creative with it. And our last player is literally sitting 6 feet to my left.
I'm Lynn, and I'm going to be playing a halfling rogue, well, an arcane trickster rogue.
Mm-hmm.
She's a little bit of a wild card, so be ready.
Understatement.
As is Lynn.
Feisty. And she was a character from long, long ago. I don't know what campaign, how many campaigns we've played. I don't even know.
I mean, this had to have been like 2017-ish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I can't wait. She's adorable.
Arcane Trickster Rogue. Her name is Belba. Right?
Right.
Okay. All right. So we've already done pretty much the first step of character creation. Like I said, this is a lasers and feelings hack. So really all you guys need is a couple of D6. And in my case, a D8. If you don't have that, we can roll 2D6 instead of the D8. It's all the same. Fast and loose, baby. So
fast and loose.
When you're creating your characters, the first thing you want to do is come up with your concept, which you guys have already done because you've had existing characters. If you're coming into this game and you don't have a character you particularly want to do, or your group decides to play a genre you haven't played in, you can easily just make up a tropey role for that kind of system. Next, we already kind of know what roles you're going to be playing in this game, right? We have our ranger, we have our survivalist with his hunting pigeon, we have our sneaky little arcane trickster rogue, and we have our hulking hurler. Like, perfect trifecta. We got the triangle right there, pyramid. So now we have to boil down basically the entirety of your character into one experienced ability. So obviously, if you're going to be doing something that's pretty, like for the example of Belba, if she's picking locks, even if she didn't say like sleight of hand or, thievery was her specialty, I might still call for it to be an ability roll, because this is basically just the way of being like, do you still have the skills that you did back in the day that made
Arthritis is kicking in hard.
Yeah.
Give it a roll.
Right. Although again, if she chooses that, then maybe it's like something, but for the most part, this is supposed to be like your big, like, whole class feature, right? Like if you're playing a ranger, it might be something like natural magic, or it could be, ranger's kind of a funny one because they're kind of like just
Yeah, what skill do they have in a nursing home? Like, we're having meatloaf tonight for dinner.
Yeah. And on the you see the crumbs from the bottom of those non-slip footwear of the ornery or the orderly,
Right.
Shit, dude. So, it just says here, it's just a silly game. Don't be too greedy. Just come up with something that describes your basically specialized ability or powers that you wielded in your heyday. So for Stelios, it might be like hurl massive object. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like I was thinking like he has
Hurl
like
orderly.
once or twice a day he still has that strength to just like pick something up massive and chuck it, but he'll throw out his back.
Yeah, you know what? So maybe we just live, as crazy as this sounds, maybe we just make your experience ability like strong. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
like insane strength. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Like,
Okay.
he can do it still, but
Yeah.
it's gonna hurt.
Right. Yeah.
Mostly
for
him.
the most part, yeah. For the most part, you can still. We'll see what your number is. We'll get to that next.
Yep.
Belba, what do you think? Boiling it down.
Like my abilities, like maybe super gluing dentures, or
That's not an ability. That's a prank, dude. That's
prank people. That's all I want to do. That's all I want to do. I want to be like the old lady that pranks everyone.
Well, it
That's
could
my
be
ability.
like, so I'm not going to let pranking be your ability. Not to mention, we've gone over this millions of times, Lynn. If this was New Girl, you are Winston. So you are like the worst. What would you say it's like? Well, you're an arcane trickster, so maybe it's like maybe in this party, your role, the sneaking will still be a thing, but it could be like magical manipulation. You know what I mean? Or
yeah,
we could just say, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that sounds
sleight of hand. It could still just be.
It's a sleight of hand, would definitely be it.
Yeah, it could definitely just
like
be
anything I can mess with. I'm gonna mess with.
Okay. We'll just say sleight of hand.
I can't wait.
It's a pretty.
I'm pretty sure is pass without a trace a ranger ability in D&D.
Yeah.
Okay, that's gonna be my thing.
Okay.
I'm just gonna fucking randomly be able to like appear somewhere and someone be like, where did he come from?
Well, and what's funny too is I think Pass Without Trace works on like your whole party. You can designate a ton of people. So for the sake of this, if you three were like adventurers together back in the day, like you and Belba, no problem. Pass Without Trace, golden. You needed it though for Stelios. Like,
yes.
How many uses do I get? 10, 8 go to Stelios.
Yes, 100%.
I cast it on each of his limbs and then
each of his limbs. Oh, shit.
Great. All right. So now the crux of the system, the mechanics in their entirety right here. You guys have to choose a number between 2 and 5. And I'll explain what that number means. In Lasers and Feelings, it was a very clever system. Basically, you have to choose a number to make yourself more of one or the other. So in this game, you are choosing between mobility and memory. These are the two things. So a high number means you're better at mobility. So if you want to be incredibly dexterous and still have the get up and go to get around, you could pick a 5 and be maxed out basically on mobility. But that means that you have like nothing going on upstairs, like your memory loss or like you're just crazy, whereas a lower number, like a 2, would be you're very good at memory. You're still very much there, coherent and, not senile at all, but you might need help getting around.
I would say Belba's a 2.
Belba's a 2?
Yeah. I have good memory.
Okay, so
you're a rogue with 0 dexterity.
Yeah, you picked
my feet hurt from being on my feet.
So my bunny.
I mean, maybe
you think caltrops are bad? Look at these fucking bunions.
Something on me.
She's a halfling that like can't get around. That's so funny.
You ever had bone spurs, son?
Okay, well, you're going with memory.
I got the
Interesting.
retro ones. All right, yeah.
Okay. So for the record, how this breaks down is you're going to pick a number between 2 and 5. If you're ever rolling memory, you want to roll over your number, right? So Lynn having a 2 in memory means that she's very likely to succeed on memory checks. She only has a 1 in 6 chance of failing. If you roll mobility, you want to roll under your number. So if Lynn ever has to roll mobility, she has to roll a 2 or a 1 to succeed. She's unlikely to succeed.
Sorry, I think maybe that was backwards, right? If she wants to make a mobility check and she has a 2,
she needs to roll a 2 or a 1.
Oh, you can meet it or beat it.
Yes, meet or beat.
Okay, I gotcha. I think Jasper Tucky's gonna be well rounded. He's just gonna be 3.
A 3, right? Yeah, okay. It's mostly stayed up top, but your body's catching up to you. And how about Stelios?
So Stelios, in my campaign, he was never good with memory to begin with, as he had
Perfect.
lost his way from his village in the first place. So I'm gonna have to go with a 5 on that.
Perfect. There we go. We got our mobile. Yeah, half giants. I mean, like, they age incredibly well,
Yeah. Especially because he probably, like, I kind of said a little bit before, like he was a plane hopper of a sorts, like accidental plane hopper. So like he probably stumbled into the some realms where he didn't age for a while, and he has no idea how long he's been there.
That's great, right? You just like happened to spend a while in paradise, and you were like,
yeah,
that place was great. I don't know. Yeah. Then I got lost.
Yeah, and then I was like, I just turned around a tree, and I was like, it was just like a burnt hellscape, and I was just like, how the hell did I get here?
Yeah. Oh, this is a bummer. Okay, so you are going. Every character starts with 5 medicine, and you get to choose basically one item that is interesting to use. I tried to flavor these a lot where they could be used in just about any style or genre, but are appropriately both old feeling and effective and flavorful. So the examples are something like a mobility aid. So maybe Belba, because she is not so mobile or good at that, she has something like a walker that has a shield on it, so she can just hide behind it, or like a floating wheelchair or something. Hearing aid communicators are basically like sending stones, but also hearing aids. Extendable canes, so like a 10-foot pole. I got magnifying glass multi-tools, utility suspenders, universal language dentures, spider walk slippers, the talking skull of an old ally or enemy, a familiar, in parentheses, equally old, a wig of disguise, arcane optics, like autopilot knitting needles that are definitely not lockpicks. Or you can come up with whatever you'd like, really, if it's like fictionally appropriate. I know, Stelios, before we started recording, you said your signature weapon was just like a 450-pound lead ball.
Yeah. So I actually was thinking about this because I had a one of the reasons how I made him a hulking hurler is like I basically pumped his carrying capacities to the point where like he could carry like a small wagon on his back. And I'm pretty sure I found a magical item back in the day called the Strong Back Belt. And I want to say he still has that, but it's just so worn and like just old as he is that it only works for a few times a day now.
Yep.
I love it.
And it also helps as his lifting support when he does
his fucking, I love it.
Yeah, it went from being like a lifting belt.
Yep.
Something like
now it's more like a girdle.
Yeah, exactly what I was gonna say. It's like a girdle.
I love it.
So you got a lifting girdle.
I think Belba has the wig of disguise.
A wig of disguise?
Yeah, sounds
okay.
fun.
All right. Yeah, that works for an arcane trickster. That's on brand. So Troy, you start with 5 medicine, and you can have one of a special item.
Right. Obviously, it's my war pigeon. My old decrepit.
That's a given. Oh, I guess you could choose that. Yeah, that's your
Yeah.
effect. Okay, so I'm just
Yep.
gonna say war pigeon. Okay. All right, perfect.
War.
That's funny. What's that song? War pigs, except yours is war pigeons.
War pigeons.
I was gonna say the war pigeon learned how to talk, and it just does the spiel from Fallout every now and then. It's the war. War never changes.
It just looks at the orderlies and it's like, motherfucker.
You tried breeding it with a crow at one point, and it did not end well. That just gave him gave him speech, and they're very angry.
Those are out there somewhere, and it's one of Jasper's biggest regrets out there.
Jasper Tucky.
Jasper Tucky. So technically, you can choose a character goal depending on if any of these resonate with your character or come up with your own. Something like escape the retirement home, experience real power one more time, recruit a following, destroy evil once and for all, rectify a past error, embrace evil and betray the party.
That would be Jess.
I don't know why I put that
Nelba.
do the bare minimum and enjoy retirement. So like that's actually like a funny prompt for a player to just be like, I guess so,
Damn it.
or like go out on your own terms if that's the kind of shenanigans you're trying to play.
Stelios already did that once.
Yeah, and that's another great thing about this game. I mean, like it doesn't have to be your character could have died in that campaign, and you don't get to play them. Well, now you can pretend that they lived their heroic life and do a little more. Again, I think this is pretty optional, the character goal, but it kind of just gives you an idea of like how to play your character. If any of these are like, that seems funny.
I think the character goals. Go ahead, Lynn.
I like escaping. That's fun.
Belba wants to get out. And the problem, and you've had such a hard time doing it because you have no mobility. You know this place, the steel trap that is your old mind. You know every in and out of this place. You just can never get out fast enough.
It's those damn shower mats and stuff. Every time she goes to leave, there's just area rugs and they just fucking trip her up.
It's
ends up on the ground.
You can't outrun a single orderly that works here. Just not a single one. All right, so you're going to attempt to escape. Sounds fun.
I actually like that as well. I think Stelios longs for the open road.
Oh, absolutely.
Or Jasper Tucky.
So Stelios as well. So
we just all want to get the fuck out of here.
Stelios this entire time, like he's been traveling, he's been trying to find his way home, but he wound up here at some point, and he was just he's like, I need to get back home to my wives.
This is so funny. Yeah, like you've talked about how you just wander in and out of planes.
Yep.
Like it's actually funny that you just ended up in this retirement home and everyone was like, he belongs. That's
yeah.
And you're like,
he just like,
eventually I'm gonna get out of here.
He walked in through the rec room door one day and like, how did you get in here? I guess you belong.
Jasper and Galba see him as their way out. They're like, this man, this guy.
I love the idea of Jasper like just telling them stories over the past however many weeks or months of like, oh no, yeah, we could totally live in the wilderness. Like I know all the berries to eat. I know, and like meanwhile we're getting fed well and like clothed and sheltered. And I'm like, so fuck this place, man. We can live in the woods. I still got it.
That's so funny. Me and my army of pigeons. All right. So speaking of this incredibly nice place that you guys live in, you get to choose one perk of the place you live in and one drawback to the place you live in. So I assume maybe it's like a castle, or what are you guys thinking?
I mean, castle sounds dope. So
yeah, just an old castle.
What if it's like a castle, but it's kind of labyrinthy?
You're reading my mind.
Yeah.
Yep. Like, good luck getting out of here, fucking Gertrude.
So that can be the drawback. Is like labyrinth can 100% be one of the drawbacks of this place. It's like,
I like that,
inescapable. It's like prison ? Like,
I saw the magic security system.
Yeah.
And I immediately thought, it's like, oh, like that's why Stelios hasn't been able to like leave. All like the rifts have been closed magically, and like no teleportation magic can get out type of stuff.
Or so there's an example we'll get to this later in like if you want to prompt your own adventure or like scenario, it's like very controlled, right? Any teleportation in or out of here, because
Yep.
you don't want people just coming to mess with old people, right?
Yeah.
So very strictly monitored. So that's typically seen as a positive, but if you guys want to spin it as also the negative, magic security system, I often thought of it like you could use it to your advantage, but it might
Yeah.
also be a bad thing.
Might be a hindrance too. Or like what they every month the magic security system workers have to come in and shut it down
This is
to
turning
do the
into
test.
this is turning
That's
into
how we get out.
Yeah, this is a Dungeons 11.
What if for a drawback we just had like, this is terrible because I'm thinking about like real world experiences with nursing homes, but like an entire floor will just get UTIs, like just
What about-
pestilence. It just rotates through pestilence.
Hear me out here. Hear me out here. The pro and the con is raccoon Cialis dealer.
The pro is they have Werther's candies.
Yeah,
the
yeah.
con is they also have Werther's candies.
That's a nod to our 3 raccoons in a trench coat one shot win that we did.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
That was so good.
We gave Cialis to retirement.
The campaign started off with these 3 raccoons like assaulting this old man and taking his coat, and in his coat he had Werther's originals and a pill bottle full of Cialis.
Oh my god.
That sounds
And-
amazing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
It was great.
I'll do my best to make sure 3 raccoons show up in this adventure. Okay, so that's it really. If we're gonna say plus is magic security system, minus is effectively it's a labyrinth prison.
Labyrinth.
Okay, so all right. So we have done all the creation. We're good to go. We're ready to jump right into this. Basically, at any point, if you're doing something and you want to roll to do something, or you want to do something risky, you're going to roll 1d6. You can roll an additional d6 if you're somehow prepared for that. If you can justify, your roll being something that would have been able to do this, or, an item that you have, you can get an additional d6. You can't help one another, but basically you have to roll. And if you succeed, you give them an additional die. If you fail, you're on the hook for anything bad that happens. And if you ever use your ability, you have to also roll 1d8. And if that d8 ever comes up equal to or greater than the amount of medicine you have left, or, as I recommend in this game when you play with your friends, throw out Werther's originals or hard butterscotch candies or what have you. If that number on the d8 is ever equal to or greater than the amount of medicine you have left, you've strained yourself and you need to take some of that medicine. And that number goes down. So now every time you use it, you're more and more likely to just throw your back out and really call it a day. If your medicine ever reaches 0, then the orderlies come get you and take you to your room.
Love this.
That's like back in my
Okay,
day-
Grandma. Let's get you back.
That's exactly it. 100%.
I used to throw a 450-pound ball of lead.
Okay,
Grandpa.
Okay,
Let's get,
Stelios, let's get you back.
let's get you back. I love it.
If you'd ever like to, this is a reminder. If you'd ever like to, you can choose to take your medicine, and you don't have to roll. You just automatically succeed. You take your pills and you power up for one good go. Even if it's your last medicine, you can just do it.
What kind of pills do we have, man? Everyone's just got fucking a bandolier of ketamine, just fucking ripping ketamine.
It's a fantasy world, man. And also, I mean, who knows? The alchemists that are working in this world, you guys might just be experiments,
That's true.
So, do you guys want to roll randomly on this D6 tables that I made to see if we can come up with a
Yes.
adventure?
Yes.
Absolutely.
All right. So we could do this a couple of ways. There's 4 of us, and there's 4 rolls required. So why don't we just? Who wants to go first for the enemy, like the bad guy?
I'll roll first, and then I have to
All right.
bounce really quick.
Sure.
5.
5. Ooh, the Lich of the Lost and Found.
Yes. Which no one knows where it is in this fucking place.
It is
the
lost for
labyrinth.
sure. Yeah. And he finds you.
Yep.
Okay, so the basic breakdown of how this works, and this is from Original Lasers and Feelings. I think most hacks of it have this table in it, where it basically says somebody, and there's a list of options, wants to do something to the something, which will consequence. So, Kent, why don't you or Lynn, who wants to go second?
I'll roll the second one.
All right, Kent, give it a roll.
All right, and that's going to be a 4.
A 4. The Lich of the Lost and Found wants to build or synthesize. This is making sense. Yeah, he's finally collected all of the things he needs to do this. And I'm so tempted to make the Lich of the Lost and Found our friend Christian, who we often joke is the Lich. He is siphoning his back pain and everything to me and Troy. All right, Lynn, do you want to go here or last? Okay.
6.
6. Okay. The Lich of the Lost and Found wants to build or synthesize the family fast travel portal. So this is exactly what Stelios is invested in. He's like, why can't I teleport? Well, here we go. We have a fast travel portal that the families can use to go back and forth to visit you retired adventurers and heroes. So the Lich is going to do something with it, which will, and I get to roll the last D6. Let's go. Oh, no. Unleash a sealed horror. Okay. Okay. So the Lich of the Lost and Found wants to build or synthesize the family fast travel portal, which will unleash a sealed horror. Interesting. Sounds like that fast travel portal is not OSHA.
It's OSHA. No, that's the horror. Is OSHA comes. Fucking OSHA comes.
It is OSHA. Yeah, it's going to. Yeah. Oh man. Oh, see, now I could have done. Imagine if it was Incite a God's Wrath and get the God is OSHA. We're going to just change it. We're going to change it. By messing with this family fast travel portal, it will incite OSHA's wrath and we will be audited. And it is going to be bad news, guys.
OSHA, the God of workplace violations. And of course, he has ties. His cult is the mafia because we need to incorporate that somehow.
Yeah. Well, actually, I was just saying we have the Lich of the Lost and Found, which I'm so tempted to name Christian in honor of our good.
Yes.
So
love that.
All right, so we have everything. We're ready to go. So you guys got your D6s and D8s ready?
Yep.
Okay.
I got it's all my my Gen Con special dice that I get every year.
Very nice.
Do you mind, Rainey, if I maybe with the group, if we do a quick little like intro scene? Oh, I've got an idea.
100%. Give us that sweet, sweet vignette.
All right. So it's dinner time again. No, sorry. It's lunchtime, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're all in the cafeteria. We're all sitting at the same table. Lunch is mediocre. It's not terrible. It's not amazing, right? But they come out with a new schedule for the next week's meals, right? And let's just say next Monday, right, is fucking meatloaf again.
Oh, man.
And when they pass that schedule to Jasper, he just looks at this fucking schedule. And then he looks at both of you like a piece of his soul left his body. And he goes, I can't, if I have to be here for one more fucking meatloaf, guys, I'm not going to make it. I'm going to go check on the rookery and I'm going to have a tragic accident. I'm not going to make it. We need to get the fuck out of here before Monday.
I'm with you, drumstick.
Drumstick.
His hair's all of a sudden disheveled. His eyes look like bloodshot as soon as he saw meatloaf. 10 years of life left his body.
Yeah.
Stelios.
I'm down to leave.
You can get us out of here. I know you can. You told us way back when, back in your glory days, you used to be able to get out of places.
Yeah, it was mostly by accident, but like I could like kind of feel the a rift every now and then, but like this place had got nothing since I came in. Although I don't mind the meatloaf.
I was gonna say, what's the pigeon's name so it can be like, I love the meatloaf.
Oh man, what's the pigeon's name? Fuck. How about Colonel?
The Colonel?
The Colonel.
The Colonel, or you mean like Kernel of Corn?
Just Colonel.
Okay.
We just refer to him by his rank.
Okay. All right.
Colonel.
Sounds good. Okay. So does anybody else have a little vignette for their character? Or you guys are sitting around the lunch table? It's a Friday, so it's probably a good day. It's you guys probably got fruit cups and
yeah, Jello, something like that. You
Yep.
know.
All right. Well, each of you are sitting here and you're beginning to plot your escape, and we see basically a little scan of this. It's a fantasy setting, so there's no like security cameras, but what it is like arcane eyes. You know what I mean? Like it's just like those little eyes floating in the corners of every room, and they look at you guys, and we see a little cutscene of a bunch of orderlies, like security guys, just sitting in a room looking out over the thing, and they're just like, "Hey, check this out." And the other one looks at the other screen or whatever. It's depicting this eyes vision on, and it's the family fast travel portal. And as a family tries to come through, they kind of like, and then they just get spit out. And he's like, "That's weird. We should go check on that." And then they disappear off down an aisle to down a hallway to go check on the family fast travel portal. And at this point, you all overhear some orderlies, some nurses, and they're kind of just talking, whispering amongst themselves. And as soon as they see you all starting to look over and start listening, they go like, "Oh, I think that's lunchtime. If anybody would like, you can roll memory to see if you pick up any of this gossip."
Yes.
Yes.
So when rolling memory, you want to roll over your number. If you have part of your roll or an item or anything might give you an advantage, you can roll an additional d6 if anyone wants to negotiate for bonus dice.
Stelio's got none of that.
None of that. Straight roll here.
Yep.
4. Got it.
4.
Nice. 2 successes.
I got a 6.
A 6. Oh, that's good. Nice.
Yeah,
Excellent.
that passed.
You needed that, actually.
Yes.
Excellent. So that's actually, I mean, normally the way it breaks down is you're looking for as many successes as you can get on a roll, right? So normally it says here, if one die succeeds, you barely manage it, there could be a complication, harm, or cost. And since we're not adding up all of your successes, which would be critical, unless we could say like each of you get a different snippet and can piece it together. But the complication, regardless, is them noticing you guys listening, and they're gonna attempt to shuffle you out. But all of you overheard something where they're just like, "Have you noticed like more and more things have just been going missing lately?" And they're like, "Yeah, like even the lost and found. Normally he sends stuff back up, but lately nothing's coming back up. Everything just gets sucked down there, and I don't know where anything's gone."
I think I've got an idea, guys. Maybe as they're shuffling us out of the room and we're going back to our rooms or whatever.
Yep. So they're not shuffling off to your rooms. You said it was lunchtime, right?
Oh, yeah. Okay. I thought you said that's lunch as in lunch is over. My bad.
Yeah. Lunch is going to be over soon. So they're basically getting you guys ready to be like, "All right, you have 2 options. You can go do indoor arts and crafts, so you guys can go outside and get some fresh air and walk around. Gardens."
I think we should go outside.
I mean, any chance
Definitely
we
go
can get out of this place?
They're probably going to bring us to the garden, which is all enclosed.
Correct.
But I've got a plan. So as we're kind of making our way to the garden or wherever they're kind of shuffling us off to, I'll speak quietly, like old man quiet, so probably loud enough
Very
that
loud,
people
What?
can hear.
You did not turn your hearing aid down at all. Yeah.
Right. I tell them that like, Colonel, this prized fucking hunting pigeon, like he has taken down some of the most dangerous big game in all of the realms, right? And he could track his prey for miles in any terrain, any environment. And I say, what if we lose something, but before we lose it, we let Colonel sniff it, and then he can try to track it down to the lost and found, and we can get the fuck out of here.
Hysterical. One, birds have a terrible sense of smell, but I love it. Every time
Don't be practical here.
every time I'm imagining this pigeon, I just imagine
This bird sniffing like a fucking.
I imagine it with the most incredible posture and like an actual like military jacket on. Like,
Or like that
his
movie.
feathers look like the rank insignias. You know what I mean? Like the
I love it. I love it. And the only way, listen, guys, the only way that this is going to be possible is if there's blood. because he's like a shark in the water. Colonel's never lost a blood trail.
Oh my gosh.
So-
You've done some weird crossbreeding with these pigeons.
We
That
we need
pigeon-
like a handkerchief or something. Belba, do you have something, an item on you that we can lose? It'll only take a drop, just a drop of blood. And I know Colonel could find it.
Maybe you have to get it from someone else.
Hmm.
You know?
I mean,
Okay.
You're-
Yeah.
I can
yourself, you gotta-
sleight of hand like someone's I don't want to say prosthetic. It needs to have blood on it.
You're gonna take someone's
Steal somebody's arm.
I don't know.
I love this. I actually fucking love this.
Old man Jenkins lost his left leg, guys.
We need to steal someone's prosthetic limb. Yes, and then cover it in blood.
Yeah. Can we just, okay.
So
I know we have it here. We have the brains. We have the brains, which is Jasper over here, right? We
It's
have
got to be small though.
yeah. So I think that like somebody's definitely got like a prosthetic like arm, right? Like they have like a somebody was a druid. I'm just rip right from the Adventure Zone here. Somebody has like a living wood arm, right? That they like synthesized with and like synergized and like it works. And they're sitting around like having tea. They're playing bridge or something like that. You know, the dragon chess, whatever you want to call it. And they're sitting there, and you just see that arm just waiting.
I got this all day. I'm gonna put my wig of
That's it.
disguise on, and I'm gonna act like I'm someone who needs to like clean it or something. So I
Oh
have
my
to
God.
take it from them. It's like
Okay.
a weekly thing that.
So you look like a nurse.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And I gotta like
Bad case of leprosy going around in the C block.
it,
Gotta-
it needs to be sterile. I don't know. But anyways, I go and get it very slowly, and I let them know that gotta give it to me. It's time.
Okay, so here goes. You're using mobility for sure because this is all about fine, dexterous work.
Yeah.
You are using your wig of disguise, so that's +1 die,
And
so,
sleight of hand. ability.
and your ability, so that's 3d6. So you also have to, or no, that's I'll give you a third d6 for using your ability. We can call it your roll, and then you have to also roll a d8.
What does
so-
the D8 mean again?
That's when you use your ability.
Oh, okay.
So roll 3d6 plus 1d8.
Could I offer to help Belba and reassure the guy that they had to clean my finger
Oh my!
because the same thing happened to me.
So you're just pulling a distraction.
Yeah, I'm just like, yeah, man, they had to
so
take my finger, just
roll-
the top part of it, to
So
clean it.
roll memory because this is how you're gonna connect with this person, right? Like you're recalling something about them, so you can connect with them to distract them.
Okay.
D6.
And memory is over.
Yeah, you want to roll over your 3.
6.
Nice. All right, so you successfully distract that person, and he looks over, and this tiny little halfling, because the wig of disguise does not make you taller, so this tiny little halfling nurse is like, "Must clean. Give me the." Just
Pulls the language barrier. No,
You want the total? I'm a little afraid.
Okay, so it's not total. I need to know the result of each dice.
Am I supposed to roll them one at a time?
No, they're all fine.
Oh, okay.
So
Okay.
you're rolling mobility, which means you need to roll a 2 or a 1 to succeed.
All right. Well, I got a 5, 3, and a 3.
Fail, fail, fail. Fail, fail, fail. Wait, what about your 4th d6 that Troy just gave you?
Oh, I didn't roll that. I'll roll that right now. A 3.
Fail, 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 fail.
Damn it, Lynn. Plan
Damn it,
B.
The D8 being a 1 is a good thing.
Oh, good. Thank
so
goodness.
you don't want that to be high at the beginning. But you just straight up fail. And it's
Horribly
because-
failed.
It is because
Horribly.
you're so small, you literally cannot yank this off this guy's arm. And like the nurses know how to detach this thing. You're just pulling hard, just yanking the guy's fake wooden arm that's attached to his arm. I will say that he just looks and goes, "What is wrong with you?" And he like
I'm new here.
he kind of just like shakes his arm, and you just like, get flung, and your wig of disguise falls off. And he's like,
Oh
"You're
shit,
that
boys,
crazy,
we gotta go.
you're that crazy
Stelios
lady. You're that crazy lady that puts stuff in everyone's pockets. You're that crazy lady." And then they both stand up, and the orderlies are like, "Oh, everybody, hold on, get along now." And they're starting to like separate people. Yeah, this opportunity has come and gone again.
Did you
Unless
lose a medicine?
no, you did not lose medicine because Actually, you know what? Because that fail was so bad, them throwing you hurt you enough that you do need to take a medicine. That's a good failure condition. I like that. Yeah. So
Sorry, Belba. It was a good try.
Unless Stelios can, while all this chaos is going on, pull something off while the real distraction is happening. Up to you. If you got nothing, we could move on to the next thing and see what other options avail themselves.
Stelios, just nab something from one of the orderlies as they're distracted with our bullshit.
Stelios just like whack someone over the head with a shuffleboard thing. Just
bloodstained shuffleboard, lost and found.
Got it.
I very much want to. It's gonna be horrible. Like this fails, and Stelios just like grabs the arm and just it's like, we need this, and just chucks it somewhere.
Oh, so you walk over and you're like pretending, and you just go like, "I'm sorry, but I need this," and you rip it off and you throw it into the bushes, right?
Yes.
Like,
just chuck it out the window. Just
well, you guys are outside. Maybe we said it's a labyrinth. Maybe this entire place is like surrounded by like a wooden, like a maze, like a hedge.
Oh, the hedge maze.
Yeah, I mean, classic, right?
Throw it over the fence.
And it's like Uncle Rico throwing a football over a mountain, right? That just flies.
We need blood on it, though.
He ripped it off the dude's arm.
I ripped it.
Well, so here's the thing. We need to roll to find out if you can do that. So I'm going to say you're going to roll 1d6. This is mobility.
Poor fucking guy.
You are going to get plus a d6 because of your roll is just strong.
Yep.
If you want to use your ability for like super strength, you could totally do so.
Throw him as well over the fucking
3d6 plus your d8 if you want to.
D6. Yeah, I do want to do use the
belt. You get the
belt.
Yeah, you pull up the belt.
I'm just like just tighten the straps. All right. I got 3 on my d8.
Okay.
2 5s and a 4.
So that's 3 successes. Oh, and 5 is your mobility number, right?
Yep.
Okay, so this is great. So you got 3 successes, which is a critical success, extra effect. And if you roll your number exactly, you're back in your glory. You didn't roll high enough on your ability to have to use a medicine. Like, it's so funny because Belba is a halfling and she's not strong at all. So like her struggling to pull this off, you're like, maybe it will be hard. And you definitely overdo it. You like 100% over. You do not need to use an ounce of this strength, but you do. So when you are back in your glory, you get special insight into what's going on. You can ask me questions and I will answer you honestly. You had 2 die that were your number. So
okay.
You 2 questions from the list. Do you have it in front of you or do you want me to read?
I got it in front of me. Yep.
Okay.
Let's see.
It's actually really funny because this came out, and I don't know if this was a precursor to PBTA stuff, because I'm pretty sure John Harper was active on the Forge back in the days of like early RPG design on the internet stuff. But it was a very active forum. But these questions like are basically a lot of the early PBTA discern realities kind of things.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of funny to see the like early draft version of them. So go ahead, give 2 questions for me.
So one of the questions is 100%. What should I be on the lookout for?
Okay. Yep. Do you want the answer before you ask your next question?
No. Yeah. Let me ask the other question too, because
How about this? I'll give you the answer. You should be on the lookout for the Lich when he comes to claim this lost item.
Okay. And I think the second one is going to be what's the best way to the portal?
Ooh, great question. So yeah, let's determine that as a group here. I assume you all don't get to go to the family fast travel portal. Your families probably come through it and they usher them to like a meeting room, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like it's not like you get to wait there for them next to a thing that could potentially teleport you out of here.
What if it's a special group of people that do the ushering of family members?
Yeah, like they are like the portal,
the yellow coats or some shit.
Keepers, yes. They all wear yellow coats for sure. Why not?
Yes.
Are we talking like
the yellow fucking coats?
Are we talking Are we talking like rain jacket yellow coats or like lab?
Yes, the rain jacket yellow coats.
Just like,
They look like the fucking Norton's fucking fish stick guy.
So
Or Gordon's? Gordon's.
Gordon's fisherman, yeah.
I was thinking like lighthouse guys. You know what I
Oh
mean?
yeah.
Yeah.
This
love it.
reminds me of like they're all mages who are like volunteering their magics
Mhm.
to teleport people in and out. And in the same way that like in Sharn, if you know Eberron,
Mhm.
in Sharn, like the city pays mages to cast Featherfall on people who fall off the towers.
Whoa.
So it's kind of like that same way. It's like their little bit of way to get some extra.
Everyone's got to
pocket
do a little
change,
bit. Yeah,
use
right.
magic type of
Wait a
thing.
minute. What if they don't just have the yellow fucking trench coats? What if they're also minotaurs?
Because of a labyrinth? Is that where you're going with this?
Yes.
Yeah.
No one sees their faces. They're yellow jackets with hoods. No one sees
Right. But they're like quad high, so they have like the legs of a bull.
No, you know
So
what
they're
though?
clearly
Yeah, right.
minotaurs.
Hooves and everything, and everyone's like, I wonder what those are. Actually, you know what's funny about that is like it is a labyrinth. They are minotaurs. Maybe the portal is like hidden through the labyrinth, right?
Through the hedge.
And so like even family members who come here wouldn't necessarily be able to like get you out.
Fine.
You know?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
That's fun. Look at this. Look at us quickly world building in a silly game.
Yellow trench coat, fucking minotaurs.
So yeah, you guys, you just chuck this arm, and like we definitely get like a little spray of blood as like it detaches, and he's like,
Yep.
ow, and he's like,
oh,
Stelios, you too.
Sorry, I didn't think it was on that. I thought it was on a lot tighter than it was.
And the orderlies who are not nurses, they're just like they're just people here to help look, and like even that little bit of blood, they're like, oh god,
Yep.
oh god, go get the nurse, go get the doctor, go get the cleric, go get the healer, you know what I mean? Like, and there's a little bit of chaos where if you guys wanted to slip into the maze to go track down said arm, you might be able to.
I just inconspicuously grab a little pool of blood and go.
Swooping down from the rookery. It's we get a very
pigeon.
obvious terrible dub over of a pigeon sound, and it's just like the red red felt hawk that everyone uses for bald eagle. I'm just dropping
Yes.
I'm just dropping bird facts on people in this one here for you guys.
I love it. The
yeah. And then a pigeon lands on your arm.
Yes. A huge pigeon the size of Belba.
Yes. Definitely the size of Belba. Belba can ride this pigeon, you know.
I definitely back away. I imagine myself like really kyphotic, and I'm almost like,
what was the word you just said?
Like kyphotic. Like I'm almost like 90 degrees looking down as I'm walking backwards, like trying to like get out of this into the head.
Did you just use a fancy medical word for like hunched?
He did.
Okay.
Kyphosis.
Word.
That's not a standard word. It's not okay.
It's okay. I got it, Lynn. I got it.
You medical people.
You medical sons of bitches.
You smart people. Listen, come back for plants and birds.
You people with back problems.
Yes. That's
I'm so slow.
Yeah. Right. Okay, so do you all slip into the hedge maze, or are you?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Yes, for sure. With the pigeon.
Okay. You know what? I'm going to call for a roll here. I'm going to call for a roll from Jasper. This is a pass without trace roll for sure.
Jasper Tucky. Now, I've got my pigeon. Can I articulate that he helps in this pass without a trace? Or no?
I don't know if he's helping in this getaway. He's going to help with the
tracking.
Roll. So
that's fair.
With this one, it's going to be 2d6, one for just having the roll, one for it being your roll.
Yeah.
What was your item again? Oh, your item is your bird.
Is the pigeon. Right.
So if you use your ability, which you're going to have to, so 2d6 plus 1d8.
Okay.
Going to be your.
So I rolled an 8 and 2 6s.
Okay.
I don't know if that's good or very bad.
And it's mobility. So you wanted to roll under your number.
Perfect.
And you used your ability. You rolled an 8 on it, which means that you've strained yourself trying to do this. And you failed twice. So take a medicine, Troy.
Okay.
Jasper,
Down to 4.
down to 4. And you fail on this roll. So you guys attempt to stealth away, but everyone just looks and goes, "Where do you think you're going?" And you're just like,
Book it.
you're just like, "Colonel?" Like, and he's
I
like,
love it.
he just like growls. Your pigeon growls.
I just like, as the orderlies are like trying to grab us, I reach out, just my blood-stained fingertips, and Colonel just catches a whiff in the wind, and he's got the scent.
Soars above the thing, and you guys run in. So like, it's not that you stealthed away at all. Everyone knows you're in here. So now security is going to be an issue. Like, whereas you guys might have had a head start without, if you passed that, you do not have a head start. You guys are just booking it, which at your old decrepit ages is not fast at all.
Not fast.
Right.
I gotta enter. So this is a familiar you have, right?
It's
Correct.
definitely an animal companion. Yeah.
So, and it's old too, right?
Well, no.
Oh, it's old. It's fucking old.
Yeah. So it definitely doesn't just fly off. It's like its wings
struggles.
all messed up. Like that's how I imagine this. It is
I
soaring
agree.
away.
I agree.
Okay.
I think the
Here's
reason
the
why
thing.
we're able to follow it is because it flies, but only to the top of each hedge.
Yeah. Takes long weaving breaks.
Yep.
Yes. Yeah.
You bred
a
him too
pigeon with
big.
COPD.
You
Got
gotta
a
stop giving
CPAP
it,
mask on.
You gotta stop giving it that halfling pipe leaf Belba.
Smoking the ganj with my pigeon, Colonel.
This is officially going to be the first explicit podcast episode on my feed for sure.
I love it. We're all shooting up our medicine, which is ketamine.
Yeah, right.
No, mine's just like LSD or something.
It's just it's 1920s.
Just
just like,
tripping.
just take this cocaine and you'll be fine.
Yeah. Oh, my back hurts. Ketamine. Not anymore.
All right. So you guys shuffle into the maze. Now I'm going to do 2 rolls here. One is going to be for the Colonel. So technically you're going to have to make this roll, Jasper. I'm going to say you get 2d6 because it is you doing it and you're using your familiar, your companion. So your item, if you're not really using your ability. So I think this is just 2d6 and you're rolling memory for
And this is for Pigeon's ability to track this item to the lost
Correct.
and found, correct? Okay, I'm just
or
using a
at least
medicine.
track the arm.
This is too important.
Okay. You're just
This
gonna
is too important to fail. So I'm
Well, you
fucking
put-
taking another medicine, baby.
Link the medicine to the Colonel.
Yep.
Yes.
You hear him wheezing over the tops of this hedge maze. He's like,
I just throw an albuterol inhaler at him.
I was just gonna
Lands in his mouth.
that's great.
But
Okay.
isn't there a bottle of everlasting air in
Yes, there is.
like
Oh, for sure.
yeah, it's
Yeah,
like
bottle
that,
of
but
air,
it's just an inhaler. It's
Yep.
just like never runs out.
It's a good name for the item, honestly. An inhaler.
Yeah.
Really
Yep.
funny if that was.
I love it.
So your bird, the Colonel, rips some albuterol and takes off.
Gets a second wind.
And you all track. So the second roll I'm going to have you guys make is, and you guys can argue this either way. I'm going to say one of you has to lead. Maybe it's Jasper, maybe it's not. But basically, you guys need to follow the bird, right? And I'm going to say this is a memory roll, basically to like make your way through the maze in a way that you follow it. Because it's not like leading you each turn. It's just flying in the direction. So you need to find your way to that direction.
Mhm.
Bella.
I was gonna say,
Belva.
follow me.
Okay.
Belba.
Yeah.
Sorry, Belba. You're up.
Am I rolling
So you're rolling memory. So you want to roll over your number.
just one?
Well, you're using your ability. I'm going to say you're being helped by Jasper's Colonel.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll give you a bonus d6 to that. That's a help die.
Got a 3
Okay, that's a success.
and a 2.
That is a success on your number.
Yeah.
So that is 2 successes. You do it. Nice. And you get to ask me one of those questions.
Fuck yeah.
And just because we didn't read them the first time, I'll read the list so listeners can get an idea. It's what do they really want? Who's behind this? How could I get them to blank? What should I be on the lookout for? What's the best way to blank? And what's really going on here?
Who is behind this?
Oh, who's behind? That's a very interesting question to ask from just following this this bird through a maze. But you know what? I can work that. I think
Both
that
of us are behind you.
it's really behind me, and you just see a hulking half giant. Right. Yes, that's the one. Stelios. Yes, Stelios is behind the whole thing. No, I think we get a classic Harry Potter Goblet of Fire moment where like the maze is changing itself, right?
Mm.
And you catch a glimpse of yellow trench coat wandering the maze.
Baby.
Yeah. But you've succeeded, so
Can I wear my wig of disguise and look like a yellow trench coat?
a little one, a very tiny
Baby fucking
A mini tar.
a mini.
Follow me.
The best part is right. The best part is the trench coat is the same. It's standard length, so it just drags.
Oh my god, I love it.
We didn't
fucking
have a
love it.
tailor. We don't have a tailor. We
Anything
don't have a tailor. Great. Okay. Yeah. Sure. Use your hat of disguise. I'm gonna actually call for. You know what? I'm gonna say there's a little bit of a roll from everyone here. Lynn, 2d6. Because item and ability. This is you rolling. Ooh, I'm gonna say mobility to act like one of the yellow jackets. And then Troy, I'm gonna ask you to roll pass without trace to the best of your ability, if that's okay. So at least 2d6 plus your d8.
And I'm
Don't
just
do me
rolling
dirty
one.
again, dice.
You're rolling 2d6, Lynn,
Okay.
but you want to roll under your number. So you want a 2 or a 1.
You go first.
All right, I got a 2, a 6, and then my D8 was a 3, which is the amount of medicine I have left.
Okay, so you are going to lose a medicine.
Fuck!
Because it is equal to or over. So you are down to 2 medicine.
I am wasting my inhaler.
And you said you got what numbers? You because you're rolling mobility for this, I think.
Yep, I've got a 6 and a 2, so I have 1 success and 1 failure.
Okay, so 1 success is okay. You barely manage it. There's going to be a complication, harm, or cost. I think that the complication is that you might have been able to pass as a family member. You know what? You're trying to pass as a family member, pass without trace, following this mini tour. And the complication is that you're definitely seen. So it's whether or not Belba can sell this with her mobility roll. That's it. Like that's 100% the complication.
Okay.
Why are you so bad at mobility, Belba? What the fuck?
No, hold on. Wait. But here's how this is going to work. There's a complication. You successfully cast Pass Without Trace, which should mean that you don't get seen. So what do we think a good complication, harm, or cost to this would be?
How about like the maze fucking turns again and we lose sight of the other Minotaur?
Oh no! How about it takes you a longer way around?
Okay.
To stay out of sight. So it takes a second to have to recalibrate and find. You've lost a little time, is what I'll say here.
Foreshadowing. We run into maybe an orderly, or not an orderly, but like a maintenance guy,
Mm-hmm.
and he's trying to fix something, but he's pretty high up on a ladder.
Oh.
No harness. No hard hat.
Oh, right.
Foreshadowing. Foreshadowing.
That doesn't sound very workplace safe.
All right, here comes my first roll. A 1.
A 1, so you have at least 1 success. You get a second roll.
A 2.
A 2 success.
And your number. Fuck yes,
So go ahead
Lynn.
and
Thank
ask a
you.
question, Lynn. And you are successfully passing as one of these yellow jackets somehow.
The mini tour. Oh, I love it.
The wig just starts to look like 2 horns, right? Like the wig just.
I'm not really good with questions. Can I ask? Can I phone
Yeah,
a friend?
you can outsource the question to these other 2 if you'd like.
What was the one with the blank in it, Rainey?
There's 2. How could I get them to blank, or what's the best way to blank? And what I like about the wording of what's the best way? What's the best way to blank is it could just be what's the best way to get to the portal. I think you guys asked that before, right? That was the question. But it could also be like, what's the best way to avoid
security.
more.
What's the best way to avoid security?
Yeah, I like that.
Because you said they're coming.
You just saw a maintenance guy. You could switch
Take his
to
badge.
faces.
Kill him.
Ooh.
Push the ladder.
Yes.
Push the
Knock him
fucking
off of
ladder
it.
over.
I mean, just so he goes
Stelios,
unconscious
that's
for a
you,
little
bro.
bit, not to like fully hurt him.
So it was just like,
Yeah,
can
but
hide
just
him in the
enough to make him
bushes.
fall off a 20-foot ladder. Right.
casually just like kicks the ladder out from underneath.
Stelios, you know what you have to do, bro. If you don't do this, we're gonna be eating fucking meatloaf on Monday. Push the ladder, Stelios.
Can I
for the meatloaf?
can I do a little bit of silliness here?
Yeah,
so,
please give silliness.
We don't do silliness.
We thrive on silliness here.
What's that?
We've been in the maze. We're a little bit far in the maze when we see this maintenance man, and when I chucked the arm, it was in towards the maze.
Oh,
it's just now coming down.
It's just now coming down.
We've been walking for a half an hour.
Comes down from the
I just did that hard.
Dude. Just absolutely destroys this poor guy on this ladder. Down he goes, and it lands right in front of you guys.
Terminal velocity. It's on fire.
Down like an asteroid, burning up at re-entry.
Oh fuck! I love it.
It lands. The fingers are like twitching, right? and then we get the colonel who like definitely overshot it, right? Like you thought he was tracking this. He was not the whole time. He did not track this at all.
He was looking for it. Like, where the fuck did this thing go?
And then he turns around and he lands on it. He starts pecking at it, and he's like, "Found it." He's like, "Oh." Okay, so you have the arm, and this poor maintenance worker has been knocked unconscious.
He's severely concussed. Massive head bleed.
Little did we know that this
I just look at you and I'm like,
living,
that's gonna be a workplace injury right there.
OSHA.
Little did we know that the prosthetic living wood arm was an ironwood living arm.
Yeah, right. It came down in a full fist, just like.
It's like the master glove from Super Smash Brothers.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
Crazy hand. All right, so yeah, that's awesome. So what is this? What does this maintenance worker have on him that's going to help you guys like just basically get through this?
A map.
Oh yeah, like a map.
Map
And a key.
A blueprint.
Yeah, and no, I like the idea of like both of these, right? Like, the secret is that this is all built on top of like underdark tunnels, right? So like there are like maintenance shafts that like no one knows how to get to them. You can now get into this maintenance shaft and go down underneath the manor here, the castle.
Wow, we are just so good.
You guys are so good at this,
dude.
Rip the dude's arm
Colonel's
off.
ready for another subterranean adventure.
Yeah,
he loves those.
Yeah, here comes the bird underground. It's gonna do great. Okay, so you guys successfully navigate your way to this maintenance hatch, and it pulls up at just the proximity of this maintenance worker's badge or what have you, and it opens up. So you guys go down. What do we think? What do we see down here? We know there's a magic security system, so I think that maybe it's going to be very hard to avoid now being kind of seen. If those,
well, I'm an avatar. I'm bringing them to their family. I'm an avatar. Oh my god,
Yellow Jacket.
No, you know what? I'm
Minotaur?
literally because I'm thinking like when we open the thing, it looks like Avatar with like the trees. It really doesn't. That's just like my mind right now. Anyways,
are you talking blue people Avatar? That's forget it. All right,
yes.
continue.
Sorry, my mind. Anyways, no, I'm a Minotaur, so I'm bringing them to the family portal. The back way.
Oh, that's your
Yeah.
clever ruse.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, so you know what? I think this is great. You guys get down there and you're walking through. You've kept your Minotaur disguise on, and you are eventually, there's another maintenance person, or you know what? There's someone else down here. Like there's maintenance people, but there's also like clearly more mages, right, that work down here. And
It's
keep
all the people
going.
who have the who've cast the arcane eyes.
Right. Yes.
It's like the telemetry floor, the mobile telemetry floor. Everybody's just monitoring the arcane eyes.
Yes.
I
And
love it.
eventually you're all walking by them and they're very confused. And Lynn, I'm going to need you to roll memory. So you're going to want to roll over your 2. So you have a very good chance of doing this. Basically, it's you're trying to remember like basically how they talk when you hear them ushering forth, family members and things like that. Or like you're trying to remember protocol.
1 or 2 die.
Let's see. What do you no, and are you sleight of handing the badge? like a very like
Absolutely.
like I'm supposed to be
Absolutely.
FBI,
FBI.
So that's at least 2d6.
You can't even see it because it's like covered up by the jacket because it's like a foot long.
Yeah.
It's just the sleeve. It's dangling down.
So that's 2d6 plus your item for your wig of disguise. So it's 3d6 plus your d8 for your ability.
Okay.
3d6 plus a d8. You want to roll over your 2.
I have my d6 first. I got a.
She got a 1. 1 failure.
Shoot. 2.
Okay, that's fine. That's a success.
Okay. A 6.
Okay, so you have 2 successes, which is just like a flat. You did it, not a crit.
And one's a critical though, because she rolled her number.
Yeah, not a critical, but she gets to ask a question.
Or ask a question.
Yeah, back in her glory.
And then a 4.
4 on the d8, so that you need to lose a medicine from this.
It's all right.
So you're down to 3.
I'm down to 3.
It's just a stressful situation,
I'm
Stress.
stressed. I'm like sweating.
Yeah. And it doesn't help that this jacket, illusory or not, very heavy. Surprisingly warm.
Belva, what's your medicine? Is your medicine just lidocaine patches for your kyphosis? What is your medicine? Mine's albuterol. What's yours?
She has a crank back brace that she just needs to occasionally.
Some icy hot. I don't know.
Lexeril, fucking biofreeze.
Biofreeze. Great. That sounds awesome.
I love it.
All right. Question.
That's so funny. She's just like, no, I'm supposed to be here, just bringing these fine folks to the family thing, and then she just squirts a bunch of biofreeze and rubs.
Smell me from a mile away.
Yeah, but that smell is everywhere in this place. So okay, you're good. You're fine.
The pigeon's like fucking season out trying to follow this blood trail covered in biofreeze.
All right. My question. I don't like questions. I'm not good at asking.
Well,
questions.
it can be a group thing.
Let's see.
Well, and the thing is, you're not actually leading them to the portal, right? Like you're trying to lead them to the lost and found. Is that right?
So, this is a good question, Belva. How about so do we know this is a place that has a lot of magic and shit? So I'm assuming maybe as soon as something is lost, is it automatically transported to the lost and found? Or does somebody have to physically take it there? Because the pigeon is tracking it right now. And 10 minutes ago, we saw it. It was up in the fucking hedge thing. So we need to wait till it's in the lost and found. You know what I mean?
I think the Lich probably sends something or goes out himself or sends someone out or somehow magically retrieves it, right?
He definitely sends shadows.
Yeah.
Shadow elementals just to go and
he literally has there's a timer that's just if they don't realize it by this long, it's mine. It's all mine.
Yep. And that timer's been getting shorter and shorter as the weeks have gone on. You put it down for 30 seconds and you turn around and turn back and it's gone.
He's just a dwarf capitalist lich. That's what he is.
He's like an oil baron dwarf. You know what I mean? He's a
Bezos, Lich Bezos.
He's just a hoarder, right? His lair is just an Amazon warehouse of lost and found.
Of prosthetic limbs covered in blood.
Doesn't matter what it is. Doesn't matter. Somebody will eventually want it. Or
sounds like an OSHA violation to me.
I know that we were thinking that calling this Lich Christian, but now in my head, it started to amass a horde, and it is a pseudo dragon Lich.
Mm-hmm.
and it just wants to be a real dragon so bad that it just started to create a horde.
Or is it a kobold? It's a
Lich.
kobold lich.
The kobold lich with alpha male syndrome.
Yeah, and he wants to use the family travel fast portal because kobolds believe they're dragon, right? Like they believe
Yes.
they're dragons. So like he's like, all I need to do is fire this up, and I can just like bring in Daddy Dragon. You know what I mean? Like,
Which he doesn't know is OSHA.
Great. Okay. So you successfully get past the first round of suspicious people down here in the tunnels, and you are tracking. You have the arm though, right?
No, I feel like we left the arm.
Oh.
We let Colonel get a whiff.
Yes.
Right? So that he had a scent.
Oh, good.
So that's why my question was, how does shit end up in the Lost and Found?
Yes.
So if we know that it's the lich with the shadow people that grab it after 30 seconds or whatever it is,
5 second
then we
rule.
should be good.
This whole place operates on
5 seconds.
5 second rule. Okay, no, so we're gonna combine it. We're gonna combine Kent's idea and the kobold idea. It is a pseudo dragon who so badly wants to be a dragon, and they've fooled kobolds into thinking it is a baby dragon. So what it does is it sends out kobolds, and you guys hear all of a sudden everyone in the hallways down here just hug the walls, like they just like back to the wall like this, and you guys just hear like and like just a small gaggle of kobolds is like running, holding up between all of them like a palanquin. Is that what they're called? What are they? Palanquin. They're doing that, but it's just a wood arm on it. It's like,
I just look at Colonel. I just fucking just straight face on, and I just
salute.
And that's the signal to track, is just a fucking salute.
I thought it was the signal to just attack and just shred these kobolds.
That wouldn't help us get to the fucking Lost and Found.
This is true. So, all right. So everybody roll mobility. This is just going to be a group mobility roll. Troy, if you want to use your medicine, you can.
No, I've got 2 left, bro. I need that
if
shit.
you want to use your ability, you can. But that's a very tough roll.
No, I'm just gonna straight D6 it.
Okay. Does anybody have? I'll give you a bonus D6 because your role is that of the ranger. You should be able to do this. Lynn, you get a second D6 as well. Sorry, Stelios, I don't see you being particularly stealthy in these. You are the tunnel.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And it does show, because I have to roll under mobility, correct?
For mobility, you want to roll under. So
I rolled a 6.
Okay, yeah, not good.
I
try to get out of the way.
And a 2. So I got 1 success, 1 failure. Yep.
Okay.
I got a 1 and a 4.
Oh, so you also got 1 success and a failure. So, I mean, this just says complication, harm, or cost, and Stelios got 0 successes. So that's just something goes wrong. So, and you guys are like, okay, sneak. And then Stelios is just looking around in this tight corridor down here, and he's like, sneak? Like, what do you want me? And he just kind of like stands there and just does the thing where like, he like spreads his legs out wide so they can go underneath him. And he's like, you go ahead. And they just look at him.
Containing myself.
And he's old, right? He's old, so they're sagging.
Big old saggy nut sag.
It's like a car wash where they just gotta.
The second head trauma in a 5-minute period of time. This one is from Stelios's ball sack.
Wow, we went from like so wholesome to so explicit for this bonus episode. That's what you get, people. That's what you get. Excellent. Yep. They and Stelios, you're like, oh, and the hand just like grabs.
Oh god.
Oh no.
Take a medicine, Stelios, I think.
Yep, absolutely.
Ooh. And but and eventually they go by, but like the whole time they're just looking back at you and they're like, what is this about?
Stelios's medicine is just straight up extra strength ibuprofen.
They didn't know what to give him. Like he didn't show up with like orders, right? Like this man
Nope.
just showed up. So they're like, "What do we give him?" And they're like, placebo."
Over the counter.
It's just like Claritin. He's got seasonal allergies, so it's.
My eyes did water from that, so.
What was the eye drops? Clearasil or whatever.
Clear eyes.
Clear eyes.
Clear eyes. Yeah. All right. So I don't know where we go from here because I don't think you could just like, okay, let's follow these kobolds. You know what I mean? Like, you have to wait. Maybe you wait and
we'll wait, and then Colonel will follow the scent.
So once again, another cost of this is you lose some time. And eventually the Colonel flies back to you. Coast is clear, and he kind of just wing salutes you. And you guys know that means follow me. And you do go, and it is even labyrinthine down here. You guys eventually track these kobolds and get to what is just effectively the most disorganized, disheveled warehouse full of junk you've ever seen. And it is just a horde, straight out the TV show Hoarders. You see a pseudo dragon doing its best to just like bury itself or like, look intimidating, sitting atop some interesting. And you know what it's sitting on? It's sitting on one of those walkers that has like the seat on it, right?
Dude, a commode. It's literally a commode.
Oh, dude, it's
sitting on a commode.
Oh no. Yeah.
Very smelly one.
Yeah. And it's sitting on a commode.
And someone lost their commode and he claimed it as his
throne. Yes. And you three walk in, and you know what? You've lost a lot of time. And he just giggles. You're too late. I've already called my daddy.
I just look at you guys like, we've made it this far. We're not turning back now.
That portal is mine now. You'll never see your families again because this castle belongs to me now. What do we see? How do we see the connection? Oh, maybe he's directly under like the portal room. So like you can see that he's like chipped away. Like classic villain stuff, right? Like they like blew out the wall of the jail, right? So like he's just created some kind of, through all the things he's collected here, there's just a clear entrance into the fast travel room now. And he's got tied up in his hoard 3 yellow jackets.
They're just bound by like the life alert bracelets. They're just fucking strapped all around him. The help I've fallen and I can't get up bracelets.
Oh my god.
They're just covered, hogtied, bound and gagged.
Oh my god.
Life alert bracelets.
One of them is like, like the things that people use, like the straps to like pull themselves out of bed.
Yep.
Yes.
They just got like wrists in it and like ankles in it, and they're just like, oh god,
All right.
Can I like a wig of disguise a little kobold?
Oh, you want to look like a kobold?
Yeah. Like, can I back up?
Oh, that's very smart. Yeah, yes, absolutely. I'm gonna say this is sleight of hand, even though it's not technically like dexterous, handwork. Like I'm gonna say this is mostly you like hiding behind Stelios to like switch this wig up. So go ahead and roll 3d6 plus a d8.
What do I need to roll?
If it doesn't work, Colonel's
this is mobility, so you want to roll a 2 or a 1 on these.
A 1.
A 1. All right. 2 more d6 and a d8.
A 4. A 2.
Okay, 2 successes means you do it.
And a 2.
So you don't have to take a medicine, correct? Because you have 3.
Damn, Lynn, what a fucking rock star roll that was.
All right, that was a huge roll. So you can ask a question, and you succeed at now looking like a kobold.
Okay.
Maybe how could I get them to blank?
Who's daddy? Who's your daddy? Ask him that. That's the question. Who's your daddy?
Yep.
Who's your daddy?
Yeah, that is a great.
Yeah, dude. Because he said
like,
daddy's
like, who
coming.
is
Oh, that is so funny.
Yeah. Because I was very confused.
Yeah, and he just looks and he says, my father, I would have to assume, is one of the great dragon lords of this realm. Because obviously, right? I mean, clearly, I'm impressive stock that it's not important, okay? It's not, it's about control. It's about, this is mine now. I'm proving myself. Wait, you asked that as a kobold? Oh, no. This is the question you asked from your success.
Yes.
You did not walk forward and go, who's your daddy?
No, I didn't do that. I will tell you what I will do as a kobold.
Okay.
I will go to tighten up those strings, aka life alerts around their wrist, and hit all the buttons.
Yeah, I was gonna say, and we all obviously know that Daddy is OSHA. So,
Yep.
Oops. We know. Our characters do not know. So you're gonna go over there and pretend to be tightening the straps, and you're gonna free them. Free the mages, the magators.
Do I want to do that? Is it too late?
I don't know. What do you think is gonna happen? I think that's a good plan.
I'm gonna do it.
Okay. So as you do that, you go over and you start hitting the buttons, and they start freeing themselves, and they land and they look and they say, "Just stand there, help us!" And they look up and like the portal is just starting to like, and it's like overloading. And he's like, "I told you, you're too late." And he's like looking up at this as it's just starting to overload. Dangerous portal action going on.
Can I use my pass without a trace ability?
Okay.
But not for me, but for Colonel.
Of course you can.
And the fucking kobold just like, haha, it's too late, right? And then he just like catches in his peripheral. It's just Colonel. And Colonel's just, his head's just fucking
sides. Okay.
Because Colonel's as big as
like
the
eye twitching with murderous intent. Like
bigger probably, right? Colonel's bigger than the pseudo dragon. He's gonna
and he's just fucking twitching and like
go ahead and roll. I would say that's I'll give you 2d6
and a d8
and a d8. Yep,
because I'm using my
Yep.
Yes. I got a 6, a 1, and a 1 on my d8.
Those are okay. That's huge. So that's a success.
Yeah.
Complication, harm, or cost. I think what happens is you just kind of look, and the pseudo dragon is now being bullied by the Colonel. But as soon as he does that, he goes like, "Kobolds attack!" And you're just gonna get swarmed by kobolds, Jasper. Just swarmed. There's no like harm or damage in this, but like you're just being swarmed by little draconic creatures that
You're being dogpiled.
Dogpiled.
Damn it.
So
Kobold
this whole
piled.
time, Stelios, what are you doing?
I'm just kind of like looking up at the portal, being like, "Oh, we're so close. We could get out, or at least maybe they could get out."
Stelios, do you know what you see? You see in this massive pile, this horde, a 400 plus ish pound like anchor or something. You know what I mean? Like something heavy that just like it you see it and you go, "Oh, remember the good times I had."
Yep.
Does that stir anything in you?
Oh, for sure. Like he just remembers playing a game of catch with an old party member and absolutely demolishing his chest by accident.
Buried in the ground, like huge swath of
yes. But he remembers this, and he'll take this opportunity. He'll grab that anchor, and he'll just like he'll hammer throw that anchor at the pseudo dragon.
The pseudo dragon at the big old pile over there.
Yep.
Okay, perfect. Go ahead and roll me. This is definitely your ability of strength.
Yep.
So go ahead and roll mobility. Your roll definitely helps. So plus 1d6. What was your item again? Oh,
my item was my girdle of lifting.
Yeah. So go ahead, 3d6 plus a d8. You can always take medicine before it if you just want to auto succeed.
I'll leave it up to the dice.
I love it. Yeah.
So I got a 6 on my medicine die. So that is a
take medicine.
fail. I do take a medicine for that.
Yep.
I got a 1, I got a 6, and I got a 4.
Okay, so 2 successes means you do it. No
And you get a
problem.
question.
No, because his
Nope, my mobility is 5.
Oh, it's a 5. Fuck. Okay, I thought it was a 4. My bad.
So you grab it and you start spinning. And you just hum this thing and while the colonel is distracting the pseudo dragon, he's like, it's too late. You can already see I've overloaded it. The mages can't stop it. Oh, and like the colonel just takes off and just like crashing through like just debris and piles of junk. Yeah, the commode flies all over the place, spilling everything. And you just and what happens is like so it like you hit it with the anchor, but the anchor turns, so it like actually pins it to the wall, right? Like it's like the piece goes in and it's just pinned to the wall and it's like no, and it's scratching at this thing as you guys are looking, and like the walls are now shaking because it just cracked the wall, cracked splinters, spiders up the wall. I'm gonna ask. I want one action from the three of you, or we can leave it up to the mages if you think they can help. What? How does this end? Does OSHA arrive, or do you stabilize the family fast travel portal?
I did hit the life alert buttons.
You did. They are all collecting themselves at the moment. Jasper is covered in cobalt.
Damn, this is a hard question, Ray.
Yeah.
I mean, it could just be funny to just be like expecting a dragon to come through, and then just a couple people with clipboards are like, "Oh, this is not good."
This is not
clipboards
good.
and
Is
just
that what
white
happens?
hard hats.
Is that what happens? Is like the light just gets brighter and brighter. The cracks are going everywhere.
Yes,
like,
dude.
No.
I feel like we save the day, and then they give us the option of have no meatloaf, and I get a day out on the town.
I got it. Ready? This is great. Thank you for reminding me about the meatloaf being the thing that all of this happens about, right? Oh, but all of you wanted to escape too.
Yeah.
So here's what this is gonna work out. Is you all think that a dragon is about to emerge from this thing. It is lighting up like crazy, just surging electric arcs, everything it's been broken, and all of a sudden it just kind of like solidifies into a very neat, very, very just
orderly,
perfect orderly door. And it just opens, and in walk 3 or 4 people with clipboards, and they just start looking around, and they just go like, it's going to be a long day.
Is that a pile of hypodermic needles?
Yeah, right? They look down at the horde, and they're just like, that commode spilled everywhere. And they're just like, oh my goodness. And they're just like, oh, vermin in the basement. And they're just like, oh goodness. And they just start like, we're gonna have to shut this place down for at least a few weeks. And they go, you down there, are you not being supervised? And we just cut to later on, everyone is out in the gardens again and being organized. And basically, the mages have set up a brand new thing where they're just like, we apologize for any inconsistencies in
standard of care.
Yeah, lower standards of care than you deserve here at Twilight Spears retirement castle. And they're like, while we deal with our problems and rectify our mistakes, you are all getting all-inclusive packages to the destination of your choice. Where you guys go?
Pineapple Falls.
Pineapple Falls. Oh my
God. Yes.
Pineapple Falls.
I'm coming with you.
And we cut on all of you in beachwear, approaching a very tasteful swingers community in Florida. Okay, everybody. Thank you guys so much for coming and playing some One Last Quest with me. Hopefully people who listen to this go, yeah, I got a character for that.
Miss Felba.
Mm. Yes, I hope that revisiting these characters was rewarding for you guys.
It was. It's very funny because I was just talking about this character with my group last weekend, and we were just because I just randomly thought of him again. So I was just like going through thinking today, and I was like, oh, I have the perfect character that could be in this place.
Post credit scene real quick. did Stelios mean to go to Pineapple Falls, but all of a sudden we see him walking somewhere completely different.
Absolutely.
Let's
Like
go.
we all like all three just walk through the portal and it's like Stelios isn't there anymore. And he's just like, oh, that burnt hellscape again.
Yeah, right. Yeah. And like there's just the guy down there and he's like, oh, welcome back, big guy.
Yeah.
Fuck,
All
I
right.
love
Well,
it.
normally this is where I'd be like, hey, where do we find you guys on the internet? But this is going up on the DM's feed and it's going up on my feed, the separate feed. So, hopefully when this goes up, hey guys, have fun tonight with Vaesen, however it is pronounced. Can't wait to hop in on one of those mysteries.
Yes.
And
You're going to play a horror game that Amber runs. That's going to be great for everybody, bro.
finally going to work up the courage to
Fuck.
to face
Good luck.
it. And yeah. And I will do a little teaser, maybe hint, who knows. This is not the last. You will all hear my wife Lynn on this feed because I rope her into playing games with me more than she would like, probably.
Yeah.
And she's gonna play a few here at least.
Love that.
Be ready.
Be ready, yeah, for Lynn's brand of chaos. If Lynn was in a DM's crew, she is so far Team Chaos. It's not
I'm
even
with the
funny.
blisses all day long.
Yes, dude. I mean, hey, we are family.
Yeah.
We are family.
All right. Well, thanks, guys. And thank all of you for listening. I hope that you enjoyed a little peek at One Last Quest, a silly little one-shottable, one-page RPG that I'm going to be putting out again Tuesday, January 30th. You'll be able to find the link to it in the description. I'm realizing, as I'm doing this outro, when it goes out on the DM's feed, it's not going to be an active link, so check back after the fact if you are listening to this in the first few days, or come check it out on the Rainy Plays Games feed where there will be a link to the game. As always, please like, share, follow, rate both the DMs After Dark and Rainy Plays Games podcast feeds. Reach out to us on social media, email us at dmsafterdark@gmail.com or rainyplaysgamespod@gmail.com with any ideas you have for our shows or comments, compliments, criticisms, anything. We love hearing from you guys. Tell us about your games. Tell us if anything we've done has inspired you to do something in your games or what have you. Questions, hit us up, anything like that. And until next time, go dig up some old character sheets. See ya.